So I'd like to ask you about some of the pledges your party had previously, and specifically tuition fees, which was a policy under Jeremy Corbyn. It was something that you backed during your leadership campaign. What's your current thinking on it?
My current thinking on it at the moment is I don't think the arrangements we've got in place at the moment work very well.
But would you back free tuition going into the next election?
They don't really work for students. They don't really work for the universities. So, of course, we're going to have to look at that. What we do have to recognise, I think, is that having come through the pandemic, we need to look at everything in the round and make choices about where we want to put our money. But all of that is being worked through. All of that will be set out in our plans clearly before the country, and everything we do will be costed, so that everybody can see what we're prioritising, how we're prioritising it, and how we're costing it. But I can tell you now, the next election is going to be fought on the economy. The cost of living crisis is
So do you think the country can afford to offer free tuition?
Well, I think the cost of living crisis is causing such hardship for so many people. We have to get the economy growing. And all these questions, people quite rightly tackle me on, what are you going to spend on, how are you going to tax? All those are secondary questions to the question, how are you going to grow the economy? And we need a plan to grow the economy. If you don't change your views as you experience life, then you're probably not going to get very far. And I've always been amused by this. People sort of drag out something that you said 40 years ago and say, well, you changed your mind on that. Of course I have. I've changed my mind on loads of things. That's because I've done loads of things. I have represented people in court. I've had to sit in a cell with someone who's been condemned to death, knowing that if the decision we make about his case isn't the right decision, we don't win it, that person's going to die. I've run a public service, and therefore, with 5,000 staff, and I've worked in Northern Ireland on some of the proposals under the Good Friday Agreement. That has changed me as I've grown up, and a good thing too. If I had not, the idea that as a teenager I had perfectly formed views on everything under the sun and that I never needed to think about them again would fill me with complete and utter horror. So it really would. Hands up anyone in the room who hasn't said something when they were 14, 15, 16, 17 and never changed their mind on it. It's, this whole sort of line of, when you're at school, on the school bus, you once said something, why have you changed your mind?